So, hello everybody. I wanted to touch on a little bit of a controversial subject. A very fun looking to me new RPG is coming out soon. It's going to feature some exciting gameplay. It's going to feature a exciting narrative set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. It is Avowed. I am looking forward to it. I love Obsidian, or at least I love the work Obsidian has made in the past. And I want to talk about why I'm going to be covering this game. I've been a fan of Obsidian for a while, the work they've done. They came on my radar with KOTOR 2. I loved New Vegas. I loved The Outer Worlds. Um, I have played several of their other games as well. Um, some of them were the most promising games. That spy game that ended up being a glitchy mess back in the day, the promise of Bourne, Bond, or Bauer, the three different like spy options you could play out. What was that? Alpha Protocol. And I know it's got a cult following, but it was a little bit of a miss for me. But anyway, I've been a fan of Obsidian's style for a long time. I like the choice that they give. That is one of the big reasons I plan on playing this game. Let's go ahead and just run this trailer in the background. Um, I am excited for both the art style that they're using because it is a beautiful fantasy world, but they're bringing over some of the color that they used in the Outer Worlds. I really, really dislike the static gray and green and brown scale that you get from most fantasy games, or at least a lot of fantasy games and settings. I'm looking at Skyrim. I'm looking at Kingdom Come Deliverance. Um, it's nice to see some of these bright, vivid colors. There's no reason that a fantasy world would follow strict, you know, Midwest America forest guidelines when it comes to color schemes. And there's no reason that explosions can't be purple and blue and yellow on occasion instead of just your standard red or orange or whatever your however you want to describe an explosion in real life. I like the slight cartoony aesthetic that they've added to the realism. I thought the original trailer looked cool from 4 years ago, but it also looked pretty vanilla fantasy. This looks at least like they're putting their spin on things. Um, Another reason that I'm excited is the combat itself, which you're seeing here in this trailer. I like the idea that they have added some of the elemental effects. I like the idea of having status effects actually making sense in a first person, faster paced combat environment. The freezing of the enemies, the poisoning of the enemies, the slowing down of the enemies, the lighting them on fire and levitating them. It appears to be as much of a part of the combat as the actual swords and sorcery damage dealing effects. I have not watched any of the hands-on previews. I want to go in blind on the 13th of February. I did pay for the early access. I'm planning on doing like 90-minute segments, give or take 60 to 90-minute segments of playthroughs starting on the 13th. I think my initial plan, although if you guys want to vote in the comments, that would be cool. You're welcome to. Um, I want to do at least 3 runs in the first couple of months that it's out. I typically go stealth charisma builds. Those are my like go-to favorite way to play a game in this manner. I do plan on doing a strictly mage build and if possible a sword and board or just a dual cast spell in one hand, sword in the other, blunderbuss in the other kind of option. We'll see how it goes out. But I do initially want to play charisma and ranged, but if you guys vote differently in the comments, I am more than willing to make a change for content's sake. Um, Now, addressing the controversy, because I know that there are those out who are just going to yell about it being woke. Um, I don't care what one person on a team of 150 to 250 people had to say about, quote, crusty white dudes. I just don't care. Um, I've heard racism in all its different forms and all its different directions thrown around from pretty much just about every type of person towards every type of person over the years at some point or another. And it doesn't surprise me and it doesn't affect me, and I just don't care. Um, if your feelings are that hurt over one individual's offhanded remark, which he probably shouldn't have made, at least not in a public forum, um, that's your line in the sand, I guess. But I find it kind of silly. Separate the art from the artist. And again, this is one person on a huge team. So I don't know if the idea of having an option to put pronouns on your character is that big a deal from you, then yeah, go ahead and pass. Like it seems silly to bypass a game that looks like it's going to have some very cool narrative choice and some very cool gameplay and set in a very cool world. But if the option to go by a they is that offensive to you, then that's a line in the sand for you to make. I think it's silly. I don't think having that option there for people who want that option does any harm to people who don't. And I think that the thin skin is what's wrong with humanity in general, America in particular these days, whether you're on the left or the right. The classic, it hurts my feelings, so it's bad and wrong, and everyone who thinks that way is bad and wrong, is exactly what's pulling everybody apart. So that's my little soapbox on that. I'm looking forward to playing this game because, quite frankly, I want a cool narrative where the choices I make matter and the gameplay is emergent and lets me find different ways around different scenarios. And quite frankly, it looks colorful and fun and a good way to spend 35 to 55 hours. So that's why I'm going to be covering it, and I hope you guys join me on the channel to watch that coverage. Give me a like and a sub if you're down for that sort of thing. I will be regularly posting. I'm going to try and do daily, at least 6 days a week, Avowed content starting February 13th, and I really much look forward to it, and I hope you guys join me. Take care.